I'm Brad Young. We operate Prairie States Seed as well as a farming grazing operation here in northeast Nebraska. The way our farm is managed, mainly for grazing, we do have about 640 acres that we own and rent right where we live, and about a little over half of that is pasture. The other half is crop ground. That a lot of that crop ground will be in forages. We rotate crops with forages. We raise corn, soybeans, alfalfa on the crops, and then or alfalfa grass mixtures. We don't do straight alfalfa anymore. And then forage crops are incorporated in that. In the past we've raised some small grains. We've kind of dropped that out. When they'll be in there, they'll be as a grazing crop and not a grain crop or seed crop. Experimented with a lot of different things and found out a lot of what works in maybe Europe or New Zealand doesn't work out so well here, but some of them work really well. We've got our grazing operation. We mainly run a cow-calf operation, about 140 to 150 cows, and we rent pasture for 100 of those cows and send them out on continuous graze pasture. And then we take in about 160 cows and graze for the summer. They will graze from late April to the 1st of August. The custom graze cows, they leave the 1st of August. That leaves 40 to 50 cows there at home, pairs, along with 35 to 40 replacement heifers. And then we also run our yearlings over until mid-July and then sell those in mid-July as long yearlings. I guess a lot of people say, well, why do you go off and rent pasture for your cows and then take in cows? Well, that gives us flexible stocking rate. I can send those cows home anytime during the growing season. Typically they're there for 90 to 100 days from late April to the 1st of August or so, and that allows my mainly cool season pastures. In mid-August we start getting some pretty good growth on them, and by October 1st, when my cows come home from rented pasture, we have a lot of stockpiled feed there, and we've got plenty of feed to graze those cows through the month of October until corn stalks open up, and that's our main winter feed. We try and graze as much as possible. Most years our bottleneck in the system is March and early April. I typically don't have enough stockpiled feed to graze, and we end up feeding some hay, and that's a bad time of year to be feeding hay, and we're trying to figure out what to do there in that time period. We need to stockpile more feed. We're just trying to figure out where to do it at. I guess we use cover crops and brassicas for some stockpile grazing. I graze my calves through the winter and hay them as needed, but we try and graze as much as possible. And as I said, the cows are out on corn stalks all winter. We rent corn stalks and chase around the countryside, moving cows from cornfield to cornfield on other people's property. In February or 1st of March, when the thaw takes place, everybody kicks you off. Then they come home and I graze my own crop ground and feed some hay and graze whatever I can graze. Typically the cows start grazing what I call new pasture in early April. We usually have some dead stockpile from last fall with the new green stuff coming through. That's excellent feed. They just don't get so loose on it, and we don't have any grass tetany problems that way. The old dry stuff mixed with the new green stuff kind of offsets the transition to green grass and eliminates the grass tetany problems. We calve starting officially the 1st of May. We've been breeding to get our calving ease under control, so we've been using a lot of calving ease genetics, and so we do get calves that start coming a week or 10 days earlier than that. So about the 24th or 5th of April we're starting to get quite a few calves, and we try and run about a 50-day calving period.